So for the next portion of our debate, we're going to be diving into a couple specific topics of a couple key categories. Our first category is culture. And so for this, Farhan, I'd like to turn to you first to give you an opportunity to answer. And then Jerry, you'll have an opportunity to rebuttal as well. So Farhan, can you talk a little bit more about culture as it relates to a flat organization?
Sure. I would say the biggest takeaway for me in a flat organization is that what you try to figure out is where the individual contributor is getting feedback from and how they're learning in the organization. In many companies, people feel like the craft leader can only be the manager. And so they're learning directly with the manager, and the manager is probably spending 1 to 2 hours a week with that person and helping. And maybe, if you read high output management, right, that 1 to 2 hours of input can be very valuable and can maybe drive 20 or 40 hours of work, but that's not always the case. And I saw this again working at large companies where my one-on-ones over a 3-year period were, I wouldn't say led to any useful output, even though I was doing them every week. Versus in a flatter organization, you tend to set up a structure where you're learning from your peers. And with your peers, you're actually, if it can be high fidelity and intense, you can learn from them on 20, 40 hours a week because you're collaborating so much. And the flat structure really allows this, especially when you've got many, many more people than just 5 or 10 in your peer group. Imagine 40, 50, in my case, 100, 120. Warren Buffett has 250, right? All of that, they're learning from each other. And that actually I find is much more effective from a cultural standpoint because it's not part of a one-on-one that happens once a week. It just happens as part of your everyday working hours.